They were Hollywood's golden couple until it all fell apart. In 2001, Tom Cruise filed for divorce from Nicole Kidman after 11 years of marriage. But behind the headlines lay hidden forces, allegations of Scientology interference, secret surveillance, and a family quietly divided. Now at 62, Tom Cruise finally reveals the truth behind their shocking split. Chapter 1. Was Nicole too young to marry? A wedding photo of Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman in 1990, smiling, their hands entwined, Hollywood's picture of perfection. At just 23 years old, Nicole Kidman stood beside 28-year-old Tom Cruise, one of the biggest stars in the world after Top Gun. To millions, they were the ultimate power couple. But as Nicole reflected years later, that fairy tale moment hid a truth she couldn't see back then. I was so young when I got married. I look back now and I'm like, what? She confessed in a candid interview with Red Magazine. Their story began on the set of Days of Thunder in 1990. Nicole was a rising Australian actress making her American film debut. Tom was already Hollywood royalty. The moment they met was burned into her memory. I was so nervous. He pulled up in a Porsche, got out, walked in, and my jaw dropped, she recalled during the Jess Cagle show. He had this incredible presence. That magnetic pull between them was immediate. Less than a year later, they married in a private, family-only ceremony in Colorado. The world saw a glamorous union, but for Nicole, it was something deeper, an all-consuming love that would define her 20s. Soon, Nicole embraced not only the role of wife, but also mother. Tom had been married before, but with Nicole, they started their family by adopting Isabella in 1992 and Connor in 1995. Nicole described feeling fiercely protective, wanting to create a loving home. Yet behind the red carpets and movie premieres, she was quietly sacrificing parts of herself. Early in their marriage, Nicole paused major solo career opportunities to support Tom's projects. She joined him on screen in Far and Away, and later, in the intense 400-day shoot for Eyes Wide Shut with director Stanley Kubrick. At the time, she didn't question it, but looking back, she realized how much she had grown up within the marriage's shadow. By 27, I had 2 kids and had been married for 4 years. I look at Taylor Swift now and think, wow, I was a kid. Nicole admitted, marveling at how different her 20s looked compared to other women. The emotional weight of that era stayed with her. Nicole later described their marriage as living inside a bubble, protected from outside influence, but also isolated from reality. It was just the two of them, orbiting each other's lives. In interviews, she painted a picture of intense closeness, but also quiet loneliness. A life where everything revolved around Tom, his career, his fame, his world. And for a while, she was content inside that orbit. But as the years passed, cracks quietly formed beneath the surface. She was growing, changing, and their once shared bubble wasn't stretching to fit both their needs anymore. The reason wasn't just love fading or youth maturing. Another powerful force was weaving itself into their marriage, one that would test their bond far beyond what age or ambition ever could. But there was another layer inside that bubble, a belief system, a faith, and its influence would pull at the very core of their relationship. Chapter 2. Was the church controlling their marriage? Scientology and the prison of belief flashes across the screen. Images of Tom Cruise smiling alongside church leader David Miscavige, juxtaposed with shadowy figures and wiretap graphics. When Tom Cruise married Nicole Kidman, he wasn't just committing to her. He was deeply tied to a powerful institution. Throughout their marriage, Cruise's relationship with the Church of Scientology intensified, and according to insiders, that very relationship may have been the invisible hand that unraveled their love. Nicole's father, Dr. Anthony Kidman, was an esteemed Australian psychologist. To the Church of Scientology, which vehemently opposes psychiatry, this wasn't just a profession, it was a threat. From the church's perspective, Nicole wasn't merely Tom's wife, she was a potential ideological adversary. The Going Clear documentary laid bare startling allegations. Former high-ranking Scientologist Marty Rathbun testified David Miscavige asked for Nicole's phone to be tapped. This wasn't a rumor whispered in tabloids, it was a claim coming directly from inside the church. According to the film, church leadership feared Nicole's influence over Tom. She wasn't fully committed to Scientology, and that made her dangerous. Director Alex Gibney explained that to Scientology's inner circle, Nicole was labeled a suppressive person, someone who could spiritually sabotage Tom's progress. The solution? Disconnect Tom from her influence by any means necessary. Behind closed doors, a chilling operation allegedly unfolded. Her phone wiretapped to monitor conversations. Senior Scientologists Scientologists assigned to monitor their relationship, subtly reinforcing doubt in Tom's mind. Subtle manipulation of their adopted children, Isabella and Connor, steering them away from Nicole's psychological background and towards full church indoctrination. Insider Mike Rinder, who once served as the church's spokesperson, gave a haunting explanation. Tom was told, "She's not good for you, she's pulling you away. We'll help you get your life straightened out." It wasn't framed as an attack on Nicole, it was framed as salvation for Tom. The church wasn't tearing his marriage apart, they were rescuing him from spiritual derailment. For Nicole, the effects were devastating. This wasn't simply a husband drifting away, it was an institution systematically erasing her influence from his world. And yet Nicole never retaliated publicly. Even years later, she remained careful, measured. "I have 2 children who are Scientologists. I utterly respect their beliefs." It was a painful contradiction. Her children, raised within a faith that once allegedly worked to estrange them from her, had chosen their spiritual path. And as a mother, she refused to speak against it, out of love, out of respect, out of restraint. After the divorce, Nicole quietly distanced herself from Scientology. Tom, in contrast, only deepened his commitment, eventually marrying Katie Holmes in a high-profile Scientology-influenced ceremony. Their post-divorce trajectories couldn't have been more different. Nicole walked away from the church's orbit. Tom leaned deeper into its embrace. But while tabloids filled with rumors of secret plots and church conspiracies, the public fixated on something far simpler: a single image, a photograph that seemed to say everything Nicole couldn't. Chapter 3. Is Nicole's divorce photo even real? Nicole Kidman walking down the street in green capris, a sheer patterned top, arms stretched wide, head tilted back, face beaming in what looks like pure liberation. It's one of the most iconic celebrity images of the 2000s. For over 2 decades, fans believed it showed Nicole Kidman moments after finalizing her divorce from Tom Cruise in 2001, a symbol of freedom, a cathartic release from a controlling marriage, and the shadow of Scientology. Almost instantly, it became meme gold. Headlines dubbed it the happiest anyone's ever looked post-divorce. Social media immortalized it. Nicole walking away from the church, from Tom, from the world that tried to control her. But in 2024, Nicole Kidman shocked fans by challenging everything they thought they knew. Speaking to GQ, she denied the origin story entirely. "That wasn't real life. That was from a film. I know that image," she insisted. It should have ended the speculation, but it didn't, because Nicole didn't say which film. The internet erupted with a new mystery. Fans launched obsessive deep dives across her entire filmography. They combed through every movie, TV appearance, red carpet photo, and behind-the-scenes shot from the late 90s and early 2000s, and they found nothing. One viral post summed up the frustration. "I searched every movie, a no match. I'm convinced it's a post-divorce paparazzi shot." X/Twitter post with over 1 million views. The fan theories multiplied. Could it be deleted footage? A promotional photo from an unreleased project? A PR cover story to reframe a candid paparazzi moment? Skeptics pointed out inconsistencies. "No film would call for that wigless, barefaced look," one fan tweeted. "Those sneakers, not a costume choice. That's real, Nicole." Another insisted. Even die-hard fans struggled to defend the claim. "I looked it up too and gave up. None of the movies she's in during 2001 even match this vibe," one user admitted. A few theorized it was from a scene cut from In the Cut or an obscure project never released. Others joked it was the greatest unsolved mystery in Hollywood. Yet despite Nicole's denial, the image held its grip on pop culture. It transcended its origin story. Whether it was real or staged, whether taken outside a courthouse or a film set, it didn't matter anymore. The photo had become legend, a symbol fans refused to let go, because to them, it wasn't just a picture, it was a portrait of escape, empowerment, and silent victory. Nicole might have denied the narrative, but she couldn't erase its meaning. But behind that smile, real or staged, was a deeper story. A family divided, a mother watching bonds stretch, break, and slip away. Chapter 4. Why don't Nicole's kids call her? Young Isabella and Connor, standing between Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman at a Hollywood event, smiles frozen in time, an image of a seemingly perfect family. In the early years of their marriage, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman built a family that looked idyllic from the outside. They adopted Isabella Jane in 1992 and Connor Anthony in 1995, raising them with love and devotion under the glare of the spotlight. But when Tom filed for divorce in 2001, the family split wasn't wasn't just between two adults. It fractured the bonds between parent and child. Reports indicated that Tom retained primary influence over Isabella and Connor, raising them within the Church of Scientology. Both children were reportedly immersed in the church's teachings from a young age, following in Tom's spiritual footsteps. Meanwhile, Nicole's presence in their lives began to fade from public view. After the divorce, she was rarely photographed with either child. Paparazzi lenses captured Tom and the kids together at events, on outings, traveling as a tight-knit trio, but Nicole, absent. Tabloids pounced on the narrative, painting Nicole as alienated or cut off from Isabella and Connor. Headlines speculated that Scientology was the invisible wedge driving them apart. In 2015, the rumors intensified when reports surfaced that Nicole wasn't invited to Isabella's wedding in London. The intimate ceremony reportedly took place without her, fueling whispers of estrangement, and yet Isabella broke her silence in 2016 to counter the narrative. Of course we talk, they're my parents. New Idea interview 2016. It was a simple statement, but one that pushed back against years of tabloid assumptions. Nicole, too, remained diplomatic. In a rare comment to Who magazine in 2018, she carefully navigated the delicate balance of love and distance. I have to protect those relationships. They've chosen to be Scientologists. It's my job to love them. She never criticized the church publicly, never attacked their beliefs. Her silence wasn't indifference, it was protection. Insiders described the heartbreak Nicole carried privately. Former Scientologists suggested the church actively encouraged Isabella and Connor to distance themselves from Nicole, viewing her as a suppressive person, a spiritual risk. Mike Render, a former Scientology executive, explained how disconnection often happens quietly, subtle nudges, ideological framing, not outright orders. It's not always cut them off. It's they're not good for you, they're a negative influence. And over time, that gap widens. While Tom remained publicly visible with his children, reinforcing their shared faith and unity, Nicole's absence spoke volumes. Yet she never lashed out, never waged a public battle. Her silence preserved what little connection remained. She once described motherhood as a journey through peaks and valleys. For Nicole, this was a valley she navigated quietly, loving from afar. As their family splintered, both Tom and Nicole sought new beginnings, but their paths couldn't have been more different. Chapter 5. Why did they never reconnect again? Nicole Kidman, standing on the stage at the 2002 Academy Awards, clutching her Oscar for the Hours, tears glistening in her eyes, a bittersweet smile on her face. In 2002, just 1 year after her divorce from Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman reached the pinnacle of her career. She won the Academy Award for Best Actress for her haunting performance in The Hours, but beneath the gold statue, beneath the applause, was an unexpected emptiness. I was holding a gold statue, and I was the loneliest I'd ever been, she later confessed. The image was powerful, a woman seemingly at the height of success, yet quietly aching inside. The divorce, the family fracture, the years in a bubble, it had all left its mark, but Nicole wasn't done believing in love. In 2005, at an event honoring Australians in entertainment, Nicole met country music star Keith Urban. Sparks flew, but their relationship wasn't without struggles. It was really up and down the first 3 months, Nicole admitted, referencing Keith's battle with addiction and his entry into rehab shortly after their wedding in 2006, but they weathered the storm. Over the years, Nicole and Keith built a quiet, steady marriage, welcoming daughters Sunday Rose and Faith Margaret, celebrating more than a decade together, still hand in hand on red carpets. Nicole shared the secret that kept them strong. We always ask, is this good for us? It was a simple question, but one that became their guidepost. Tom Cruise's path took a different turn. In 2006, the same year Nicole married Keith, Tom married actress Katie Holmes. Their daughter Suri was born that same year, but the marriage ended abruptly in 2012 amid swirling rumors of Scientology's controlling influence over their family life. The divorce once again brought Tom's ties to the church into public scrutiny. Since then, Tom has remained publicly single, devoting his life to his films and faith. Both stars thrived professionally after their split. Nicole embraced bold, daring roles in Moulin Rouge, The Hours, Rabbit Hole, and the award-winning TV series Big Little Lies. Tom continued his reign as an action icon, leading blockbuster franchises like Mission Impossible and delivering one of his biggest hits yet with Top Gun Maverick. In 2006, Nicole reflected on her relationship with Tom with surprising tenderness. He was huge, still is, but to me, he was just Tom, and I loved him. I still love him. Ladies' Home Journal interview. There was no bitterness in her words, no blame, just a quiet acknowledgement of a love that shaped her and a journey that eventually led them both in different directions. Despite everything, the divorce, the church, the distance, Nicole never publicly attacked Tom. She spoke of respect, gratitude, and peace. Their story wasn't a Hollywood tragedy. It was two people who grew apart yet carried each other's imprint forever. Their love story may have ended, but their legacies continue, on screen, in family, in the quiet choices they made to move on, move apart, and keep moving forward. If you thought this story was shocking, wait until you see what happened next in Hollywood's biggest betrayals. Click the video on your screen now for the untold secrets behind another celebrity scandal, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss these hidden truths.